Welcome to the space for transformational leaders to unleash their magic, see better client results, work lighter, and live sourced. Hello and welcome to Transformational Story Time. I want to share a story about a recent experience I had of feeling deep fulfillment and peace. I'm Darla LeDoux, founder of Sourced, and I recently had an intuitive reading. And in the reading, the woman connected in with her guides and channeled a message and kind of wrote it out and sent it to me via an email. And then I had a chance to ask some questions afterward. Now, I didn't have a specific thing I was asking for or intending for this reading. A friend of mine had gotten one and had some interesting information, and I thought I would do it too. I don't do a ton of readings because I really like to rely on my own sourced knowing. However, it was really fun. So I received back the reading, and in it, most of what I got back, I thought, well, I know that. Well, I know that. Oh, that feels true. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Now, I'm not saying this from a place of, oh, I already know everything, but from a place of this reading was really reflecting back to me aspects of myself from the time I was young that were really present. And while at this stage of my life, I could read that and say, oh yeah, I know that. It was so validating and affirming. You know, my curiosity question was, why would my guides want me to know this? Like, it doesn't seem that interesting or that big or important. Yet it was so deeply affirming. And I could see that that's actually exactly what I need. Is like, I don't need some grand information about where I'm going or what I should do or anything like that. But the nuanced affirmation that I am on the right track, that I know who I am, that I see myself clearly was exactly what I needed in the moment. Why I'm sharing this is it was such a beautiful thing to read and receive this and not wish. There was a little part of me that wanted some kind of fun surprise, but to not wish for something different, to not wish for some deep, transformational guidance, to not wish for being or doing or knowing anything other than where I am. The reading actually presenced me to how much I know I'm on the right track, to how my soul is here to do what I'm doing. Not that it won't evolve and shift and grow and all of that, but that my soul is here doing what my soul came here to do. Now, the deep fulfillment and peace that comes from that knowing, I can't even give back. I can't imagine not having that at this point in my life. That is why we do the work we do here at Sourced. That is why we start with the premise that you have an inner knowing, it comes from Source, and that when you follow it, your world works. I'm not saying I follow it all the time, or I do it perfectly, or I don't get triggered or show up in not self energy, because I do. But when we are tuned in to our knowing and we follow it, the world works for us. When all humans are tuned in to their knowing and they follow it, the world works. I truly believe that. What does it mean when the world works? It doesn't mean that we don't, have stuff come up as humans and experience things that aren't our preference. But what it does mean is that we are at peace inside the majority of the time, because we know what we know about who we are and where we're going. And if we forget, we can come back to it. We know how to access that. So that's my story for today. I'd love to hear your experience with this. Do you look for people outside of you to give you the information about where you're going, or do you know how to access that from the inside? Would you be excited about a nuanced affirmation that you're on the right track? Or are you constantly looking for the new thing or the thing to change or the next best thing that you need to do to somehow be different than who you are? And what if you could bring yourself back to knowing that who you are is perfect, that you can believe yourself, and that the more you believe yourself, the more you'll receive from Source and the more you'll be fulfilled and at peace with your choices. This is Darla LeDoux, founder of Sourced. I'd love to hear your thoughts below this video. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, and we'll see you soon.